What's good, guys? Super chill conversational video today. I just want to share some thoughts that are on my mind and some concepts that might help you to navigate the next 2 to 6 years with regards to your online coaching business, info product business, whether you're a consultant, whatever it may be. And I want to start with the idea or the theme concept behind market maturity, or some may call it market sophistication. So way back 5 to 6 years ago was kind of when I started my online business journey. You would see guys online going out, renting supercars, showing the lifestyle, traveling. They've got the watches, they've got the life that you want to live. And it could be rented, right? It could not even be something that this person genuinely can afford. Nonetheless, the guy or the guru would post a link to a website, to a course, to a funnel, whatever it may be, and people would buy it without second guessing. Now, that obviously doesn't work in today's age because of market sophistication, market maturity. People get accustomed to the idea of certain customer flows, certain phrases, certain funnels, the way that people do things, and they start to get a little bit more skeptical. They start to do a little bit more research. They may have even had experience or been burnt in the past by a bad actor, and that kind of adds another element to the equation. And understanding this concept, right, understanding market sophistication and market maturity will save you a lot of time, and it will enable you with the perspective of forward thinking and trying to understand the current status, the current situation of the market that we're in today, and what actually works today. Not what worked 5-6 years ago, because unfortunately that doesn't work today. Ads are more expensive. It costs more to acquire leads. It costs more to book calls. It costs more to acquire clients. If you're doing the same old shit that people used to do 5-6 years ago, right? And I think as well, a lot of people focus on surface level problems. Like, I'll tell you, before we get into that, I'll tell you a massive shift that I had probably around 2 years ago that completely changed the game for me. It changed everything about what I do. And it was this single shift, right? I don't know, I kind of had this feeling. I would, every time I would open social media, I'd see a new guy talking about a new funnel and shitting on the other funnel that is basically the opposite to what he's doing. And the reason he's doing that is to get you into his program doing his funnel, because he's saying it's the best to basically position that as the solution and all this bullshit, right? And I would see so many people doing that. And I thought to myself, like, I'd obviously been in the game for a while at this point. I'd been working with coaches and consultants for some time. And, as long as you approach it in the right way, like, every funnel can work. Obviously, you have certain funnels that are better for certain use cases and certain offers, but generally speaking, every funnel works. And what I noticed and what I kind of started to focus on was the journey before someone arrives at your funnel. And this truly came from experience, because when I think back to people that I have invested in terms of like mentors, masterminds, one-to-one coaching, whatever it may be, I didn't give a fuck about the page they sent me to or the funnel that I went through. I purchased from them. I brought from them because I wanted to buy from them. And it may have been different reasons for different people, but ultimately I believed at the time that the individual I was investing in was able to get me the desired result that I wanted, or was able to provide me with enough value that quantified or justified the amount that I was investing. And it didn't matter so much about the funnel that I put them through. And the only case where the funnel will matter is if you're just running ads to cold traffic, right? And you're booking calls from cold traffic, which it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not the method that I focus on. It works for some people and it's worked for some of our clients, but I like to grow my business. I like to help my clients grow their businesses with flow and not force. And when anything's forced, having to use persuasion, having to force sales calls with people who don't know, like, and trust you yet, and all this sort of stuff, it just creates resistance. Like, I don't personally want to run a business like that. And if you're watching this and you resonate with what I'm saying, you probably don't want to run a business like that either. And talking about the you know, just the concept behind persuasion and selling people on calls and stuff, like it shouldn't even really need to be a thing if you've done a good job at engineering the journey before someone books a call with you. I'm definitely going to do, you know, a deep video on this, but just with regards to like the customer journey that you should be putting people through to answer all the FAQs, to build the trust, to build the credibility, to build genuinely 90 days of trust within a matter of 7 to 14 days. Because we don't only help our clients to build personal brands, we help them to build accelerated personal brands. You know, there's certain techniques that we use with organic and paid strategies that enable you to get that same, you know, 90 days worth of trust and credibility within a 7 to 14 day time frame. And this just reinforces my point behind understanding the current market that we're in and what works now versus what didn't used to work, right? Because cold VSL funnels, cold webinar funnels do still work today, right? They do still work. I'm not out here shitting on these types of traditional funnels, but they worked way better before. But it depends what kind of business you want to run, right? There are certain offers that are easier to one call close a cold lead and certain industries and certain client avatars than others. But when it comes to actually running a business that you feel fulfilled in, running a business that you actually want to show up to on a day-to-day basis, like that shit just don't resonate with me. And that's kind of what, in a way, subconsciously forced me to think outside the box and think about, okay, well, how can we prevent all of this stuff? How can we prevent skepticism? How can we prevent having to have a good sales skill set to even make revenue in your freaking business? Like, how can we prevent all of that? Well, the way in which we do that is engineering the journey that the customer goes through before they even get the opportunity to book a call with you. Because when they have the opportunity to book a call with you, that is when they're ready to buy. And we like to call it in my circle, it's like a confirmation call, right? It's not even a call where people book because they need to learn more or they need you to say a certain thing to get them across the line. It's literally just a matter of, how much is it? Send me the link. Let's get onboarded into the program. And I might be over optimistic in saying, but I think that, you know, although it might not be as fast and as easy as it used to be, it's still very, very, very simple to grow a coaching business. Like, well and truly, and I've talked about this concept a lot around, like, what I like to do with my clients is not marketing, but we like to call it moat marketing, like building a moat around that personal brand, because no one can copy you, no one can replicate what you're doing. And it almost puts you into a category of one. And I like to talk about this a lot because there are certain people that would buy from you and they wouldn't buy from me. And there are certain people that would buy from me and they wouldn't buy from you. And it's understanding your unique experiences, it's understanding your unique knowledge, your unique way of communication, your unique personality traits, and amplifying that and leveraging that to be your authentic raw self, to be a category of one. And it doesn't mean that you take 99% of the market share. It means that you work with the people that really want to work with you. And I like to call them affinity clients. They resonate with your message, they resonate with your brand, they resonate with your ethos, your everything that you preach. And it's almost like just working with a friend. Like, it doesn't feel like work. You're just working with people who are so fucking aligned with you. And that's a result of crafting your ICP, really doing deep research and understanding of who it is you want to fucking work with. Their belief systems, their paradigms, the way that they think, the common misconceptions. Like, it's not all about fucking, you know, desires and pain points and problems and all that sort of stuff. That's surface level shit. And even like when it comes to, you know, the foreseeable future and the shift that I see happening with AI, like, it's now with AI, people are building personal brands, but not in a personal way. So like, they're creating all of their hooks with AI, they're creating their fucking ICP with AI, their funnels, their copy, their video scripts, everything with AI. So it takes the personal out of personal branding. So what you're going to start to see, in my opinion, is a shift towards real fucking people. Real personal brands that are built from actual skin in the game, actual experience, authenticity, raw, unfiltered content that is coming from these individuals, and it's not coming from a fucking couple of prompts on a screen. Now, I'm not here to say that you shouldn't use AI. You should use AI to amplify you, but you shouldn't use AI to replace you. And it's important to think about the market, to think about the shifts, to think about the past, to think about the present, because ultimately, like, if you don't think about this stuff and you don't plan for it, you don't prepare for it, you're going to get left behind, or you're going to be spinning your wheels, not understanding why certain things aren't clicking or certain things aren't working for you. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I'm definitely going to do a deeper video on some of the subtopics that I've discussed in this, but it was just a general conversation, just some general thoughts that are on my mind. And yeah, peace out.